me messing around in the snow on the 450 Ibex MT, just testing out traction control and traction control off on the snow. These tires will have to go. I'm still debating on what to get next. I'm in contact with Kyle Bradshaw, Many Bikes. He's the tire guy. He knows his stuff on tires, and I'm still debating on which brand to go with and what style of tire. To be determined. I am halfway through the break-in period on this bike. It has 340 miles currently. I did print off a PDF page of the exact instructions off the manual on how to properly break in the bike, as well as just some other basic break-in instructions off of Google. I'm going to flip around here and we're going to take the bike on a little off-road section that I have near my house. Just get a taste of off-road finally. It's an old dirt road that pretty much just dead ends, goes to nowhere, but it's so washed out and it's got a couple little technical spots, so we'll have some fun on that. I'm telling you though, this is my first brand new bike, and to properly break in this bike on what they recommend, you have to have the patience of a Buddhist monk. I mean, it's ridiculous. So let's flip around. Let's hit that little off-road section. I got all those pages printed out. We'll go through that and have a little fun on that off-road section. I'm gonna flip around right down here. Gosh, I can't wait to have this thing fully broken in at 600 miles so we can redline it up this canyon. I just realized that with the ABS on-off button right here, everything shuts off. So rear wheel, ABS, traction control, and you are set for off-road mode. At 6,000 RPM, we can cruise about 65, 63, 64. All right, here we go. I haven't tuned the suspension yet, so we'll have to mess around with that at some point. This ground is freaking soft. Wowie. I had to put a foot down right there. The bike would have went down. Perfect. Okay, so here's a printout I found online, PDF file, straight from the manual. The break-in period for this vehicle is the first 600 miles, 1,000 kilometers. Maintain the vehicle according to break-in period requirements. The following items should be observed during break-in period. 1. Do not run engine speeds immediately after the engine starts. Allow the engine to warm 2 to 3 minutes at idle speed and let oil flow into all engine lubricating parts. 2. Do not run the engine at high RPM when the transmission is in neutral, so pretty much don't be revving your bike in neutral. 3. During the break-in period, CFMoto suggests the top speeds as below. So for the first 300 miles, 500 kilometers, they recommend a maximum engine RPM of 4,000 RPM. So don't be going over 4,000 RPM. We tested it on the highway, that's about 45 miles per an hour. And after 300 miles, which the bike is currently at, over 300, so between 300 and 600 miles, you're allowed to rev up to 6,000 RPM. Now, CFMoto suggests, right? And 300 to 600, that's 500 kilometers to 1,000 kilometers. There's a few other things to mention as well that aren't stated right here on this page, as well as on the bottom here. There's just a little warning, new tires can be slippery, so typically they tell you what, the first 50 miles, let that first layer rub off on the highway and you should be fine. It also mentions tire pressures, avoid sudden maximum braking, acceleration, and hard cornering during the break-in period. I'll copy and paste that PDF page that I just read off into the description box below so you can go over that, as well as these other kind of general braking instructions to this description box below. I'm not going to read all this and bore you to death. But another very important thing is not to keep the bike at a consistent RPM while braking in the engine. So you don't want to be there at 3,500 RPM and sitting there for half an hour. It's important to just kind of get it back and forth. So, 2,000, 4,000, drop down. And that's why city riding for the first 300, and then once you get over 300 and can get the bike up to 6,000 RPM, you'll have a little more range to get up to that 60 miles per hour, so it's going to be easier. A little bit of sunlight left. Let's go for a little cruise, and I'll show you again what those speeds are at those RPMs, if you're curious to see what that looks like. Let's get rolling. Here we go. So once again, the bike at 6,000 RPM, she's cruising 65 miles per hour. So what I was saying before, you don't want to hold a consistent speed for an extended period of time. You want that RPM range to fluctuate back and forth. And that's why I recommend city driving. It's just the easy way to kind of just go through the gears and go up and down. But once you get past that initial 300 miles, canyon or just anywhere is fine. You're so limited with the 4,000 mile RPM. You're only going to be going, let's see, in 6th gear, you're going about 45 miles per an hour. Oh, nice. Yeah, she is a canyon carver, that's for sure. Very flickable, as well as you don't want to be just gunning this sucker, so just go easy on her the first 600 miles. It's been very difficult. Like I said, you have to have the patience of a Buddhist monk for a motorcycle break-in. Then again, I bought all my bikes used, and who the hell knows how those were treated the first 600 miles. This is my first brand new bike. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll catch you in the next one.